What's up? What's up? What's up, my mind your money business folks? It's me yet again with another video on today's stock market news. And as always, hopefully you're in the market and not trying to time the market because that's simply impossible to do. So let's see what happened today. It says the S&P 500 post back-to-back gains as traders optimism U.S.-China trade talks making progress. Progress is being made, and that's what we want to hear, right? Progress makes the dream work, meaning our assets are continuing to go up in value. So let's see what's going on, right? So it says the S&P 500 closed marginally higher on Monday as President Donald Trump's officials met with their Chinese counterparts in an effort to resolve trade issues between the two economic giants. Those two words, economic giants. China is nothing to play with, people. Trust me when I tell you that. Everything's made in China. So the S&P 500 added 0.09%, while the NASDAQ composite climbed 0.31%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average ticked down only 1.11 points, which isn't bad, right? So officials from the U.S. and China held talks on Monday in London with U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, and Trade Representative Jameson Greer, representing the U.S. National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett told CNBC on Monday that the U.S. was seeking confirmation that China would restore critical mineral exports. Interesting. Look into that, mineral exports. Something I haven't read or heard before being an issue between the two powerhouses, right? But either way, the purpose of the meeting today is to make sure that they're serious, to literally get handshakes and get this thing behind us. Hassett told CNBC's Squawk Box. Our expectation is that immediately after the handshake, any export controls from the United States will be eased, and the rare earths will be released in volume, and then we can go back to negotiating smaller matters. See, that's one thing most people are not aware of, are these precious minerals and what they do, or how they're used in the world, right? Look into it. So either way, the talks are set to continue on Tuesday morning, a resource familiar with the situation told CNBC. The meeting in London comes after Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping held a lengthy phone call last week. Last month, the two countries agreed to temporarily cut tariffs while trade negotiations proceeded. Shares of several semiconductor companies rose on Monday. Qualcomm jumped more than 4% after the chipmaker announced it will acquire semiconductor firm Alphaware for $2.4 billion. That's interesting. Like, I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to look into Qualcomm. Yeah. But not right now. Also, shares of Advanced Micro Devices, AMD, and Texas Instruments each added more than 4%, while NVIDIA shares ticked higher. Alibaba gained 2%. So investors are taking bullish trades today on China large caps and U.S. semiconductor stocks, which are both beneficiaries of U.S.-China trade talks, said Larry Tenentarelli, that last name, chief technical strategist for Blue Chip Daily Trend Report. So separately, Apple shares lost 1.5% as the company held its 2025 Worldwide Developers Conference, during which it announced its first new iPhone operating system redesign since 2013. Wow. They've been operating off the same freaking operating system and selling $1,500 phones, $2,000 phones since 2013. Same operating system. Either way, here nor there. Inflation data is expected to be a key topic later this week. The latest consumer price index is due out on Wednesday, followed by the producer price index on Thursday. So look for those key things on Wednesday and Thursday, people. Traders will be looking for clues as how the current tariff rates are flowing through the economy. So Monday's moves come after all three of the major indexes notched their second straight winning week. We love to win, people. The S&P 500 on Friday closed above the 6,000 level for the first time since February 21. Yeah, as long as you continue to invest, make wise investments, you will continue to succeed. And yeah, that's it. So let's get into the stocks, right? So it says here, NVIDIA gained 91 cents today, which I'll take that, closing out at $142.63. SPLG, the S&P 500 ETF, gained 6 cents today, closing out at $70.53. Broadcom lost $2.65 today, closing out at $244.28. FTEC, an information technology ETF, gained 70 cents today, closing out at $187.07. Tesla gained $13.44, right? Closing out at $308.58. Apple lost $2.47 today, closing out at $201.45. Microsoft gained $2.37 today, closing out at $472.75. Go Apple. Palantir gained $4.34 today, closing out at $132.06 per share. Amazon gained $3.41 today, closing out at $216.98. Yeah, so things are good. As always, continue to invest. Continue to get out of debt if you are in debt. Get out of student loan debt, car loan debt, personal loan debt, all credit card debt, all forms of debt. Get out of it so that you can have full control over your money and you can tell it where to go. You need to be the one manipulating your money, telling it where to go, when to stay, where not to go, so on and so forth. Make wise decisions. Live below your means. Create 3 to 6 months living expenses that you never touch for an emergency, because emergencies do happen, because this is the thing we call life, right? Things happen, you know. After you've gotten out of debt, also make sure that you're investing up to 15% of your income into your retirement. Set aside money, fund your kids' college fund. And then if you have a mortgage, start tackling your mortgage with that money that you've used to pay off your loans. Start tackling the mortgage and be done with the mortgage in 7-10 years. And then you have full control over your money, and life just seems to be a lot better when you have total control over it. And you're not stressed about money, because we do need it. I mean, there's no need to stress about it. That's why you should live below your means. Do what needs to be done and keep it moving. Invest, though. Invest. If you're not comfortable with investing into the stock market, invest into real estate. Invest into assets that appreciate in value, like yourself. Think, people. Disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, so nor am I pretending to be one. So please consult with a financial advisor before you invest any of your hard-earned money if you're not capable or comfortable enough doing it yourself. All right, so you guys take care. Have a blessed day. I'm about to go off to work. Hopefully you guys, again, are investing in yourselves, into the stock market, because it's only going to go up. I don't care how often it goes up, down, but it continues to go up over time. That's what history has shown us over the last 10 years, well, not 10 years, the last 100 years. On average, the stock market has given back gains of 10%. And where are you going to get those types of returns from? Not from your bank, not just saving your money in your bank where you're making little to no money. Even these high interest accounts, you may get maybe 3% right now. But either way, here nor there, do what you want. At the end of the day, you do what you want. I can't make you do. However, there is a winning formula. In order to be successful and to have what others have and that are successful and happy and don't worry or stress about anything, you need to do what they do, or do what they've done in order to get to that place. If you don't do what they're doing or what they've done, then expect to continue to struggle. All right, because there's a blueprint for everything. It's all about which blueprint you're choosing to follow. Either you're doing stress and worry, or you coming up with a plan to make life a lot simpler, better, happier, healthier. You get what I'm saying. All right, you gotta take care. Peace.